The moment you stop conforming to what others expect, you start becoming who you were meant to be. Some people follow the crowd, others lead it, but you? You move in a way most people can't even understand. You're not here to fit into a mold or live by society's unspoken rules. You walk your own path, not because you're trying to be different, but because that's simply who you are. And that's what makes you a Sigma female. You've probably been called strange or too intense at some point. Maybe people have told you that you overthink everything or that you're too distant. What they don't realize is that these so-called flaws are actually your strengths. You see the world differently. You don't settle for shallow connections. You don't waste time on mindless chatter. And you definitely don't follow traditions just because everyone else does. The habits that set you apart aren't weaknesses. They're the reason you're untouchable. They protect your energy, sharpen your instincts, and keep you one step ahead. While others are busy seeking approval, you're mastering your own mind. This isn't about changing who you are to fit in. It's about owning the things that make you rare. Because the truth is, the world doesn't need more people who conform. It needs more women who refuse to. Let's get started, the rare gems. Number 1. Letting people assume they're broke or unsuccessful. Most people are obsessed with proving themselves. They flaunt their money, name-drop their accomplishments, and make sure the world knows exactly how successful they are. Sigma females? They do the complete opposite. They let people assume whatever they want, especially when it comes to their success. If someone thinks they're broke, struggling, or not doing much with their life, they won't waste a second trying to correct them. Why? Because there's power in being underestimated. When people assume you have nothing, they reveal their true colors. They show whether they respect you for who you are or just for what they think you can offer them. Sigma females have no interest in attracting superficial people who only value status or wealth. By staying quiet about their achievements, they naturally filter out the opportunists and attention seekers. But it's deeper than that. Keeping their success low-key also gives them control. When people don't know what you have, they can't make demands, form expectations, or try to manipulate you. A Sigma female would rather be the quiet storm than the loud, desperate show-off. She knows her value isn't in flashy displays. It's in her ability to move unnoticed until she decides it's time to make an impact. And when she does, that's when the real shock happens. The people who doubted her suddenly scramble to understand how they missed it. How could someone they overlooked be this capable, this powerful, this far ahead? That's the moment Sigma females thrive in, not because they seek validation, but because they enjoy proving in silence that they were never behind to begin with. So while the world chases attention, a Sigma female stays in her lane, letting others assume whatever they want, until she decides otherwise. Because real power isn't in proving your worth. It's in knowing it, whether others see it or not. Number 2. Ignoring calls and texts for no apparent reason. Most people are glued to their phones, feeling the need to respond instantly to every message, every call, every pointless notification. But Sigma females? They play by a different set of rules. If you text them and don't get a reply for hours or even days, don't take it personally. It's not arrogance, it's not rudeness, and it's definitely not because they forgot. It's because they genuinely don't feel obligated to respond unless they actually want to. Unlike most people, Sigma females don't treat communication as a mindless reflex. They don't reply just because it's the polite thing to do. If a conversation doesn't feel necessary or interesting, they have no problem letting the message sit there, unanswered. It's not about disrespect. It's about energy management. They refuse to be pulled into meaningless small talk or forced interactions that drain them. This behavior confuses people. Society expects instant replies, constant availability, and a never-ending stream of chatter. But a Sigma female sees things differently. To her, time is valuable, energy is limited, and not every conversation deserves her attention. If she's in the middle of deep thinking, working on something important, or simply enjoying solitude, answering a text is the last thing on her mind. And here's the thing. She's completely at peace with it. She doesn't feel guilty for not replying. She doesn't feel pressured to explain herself. She operates on her own terms, and if that means days of silence, so be it. But when she does respond, that's when you know the conversation actually matters. Her words aren't just empty social obligations, they're intentional. And that's what separates her from the rest. So if you ever wonder why a Sigma female isn't replying, don't assume she's ignoring you out of spite. She's just choosing when and where to spend her energy. And that's a power most people don't even realize they have. Number 3, hyperfixating on random topics for no logical reason. One day, a Sigma female is deep into studying ancient philosophy, passionately debating the principles of Stoicism. A week later, she's completely immersed in quantum physics, trying to grasp the complexities of particle entanglement. And just when you think she's about to become an expert in one field, she drops it like it never existed, only to move on to something equally unexpected. To outsiders, this seems random, almost chaotic. Why invest so much time learning something only to abandon it? But for a Sigma female, it's not about mastery. It's about curiosity. She doesn't learn for approval or credentials. She learns because her mind craves stimulation. The moment she stumbles upon something intriguing, she dives in headfirst, absorbing every detail, connecting dots that others don't even see. And once she feels like she's gotten what she needed from it, she moves on without hesitation. There's no need to cling to a subject just for the sake of consistency. She isn't here to impress anyone. She's here to keep expanding her mind. This ability makes her unpredictable and intimidating. You never know what she'll be fascinated by next, and she doesn't feel the need to explain it. One moment she's decoding ancient texts, the next she's studying survival tactics, and before you can catch up, she's onto something else entirely. But here's the catch. Nothing she learns ever truly disappears. It all gets stored away, waiting for the right moment to resurface. Conversations with her are never dull because she can pull knowledge from the most unexpected places. She might not be a specialist, but she's a walking archive of fascinating ideas. So if you ever catch a Sigma female obsessing over a seemingly random topic, don't ask why. Just know that she's feeding her mind in ways most people never will. And when the time comes, she'll connect it all in a way that no one else saw coming. Number 4. Mentally exiting conversations while still nodding. A Sigma female can sit through a conversation, nodding at all the right moments, throwing in the occasional and even making eye contact. Yet in reality, she's not mentally present at all. Her mind is somewhere else, analyzing, strategizing, or simply filtering out the unnecessary noise. This isn't rudeness, it's survival. Sigma females have a sharp ability to recognize when a conversation is worth their energy and when it's just empty talk. They don't have the patience for gossip, pointless drama, or mind-numbing small talk. So rather than wasting effort pretending to care, they've mastered the skill of appearing engaged while mentally checking out. It's their way of protecting their time and energy without causing unnecessary conflict. Most people don't even notice when a Sigma female is mentally gone. She knows exactly how to mirror social cues, just enough to avoid suspicion, but not enough to be truly involved. And honestly, it works in her favor. While others are lost in meaningless chatter, she's using that time to think ahead, plan her next move, or simply enjoy the silence inside her own mind. But when a conversation does matter, that's when you see the real difference. A Sigma female will shift gears in an instant. She'll become fully present, asking deep, thought-provoking questions and engaging in ways that make others feel truly seen and heard. Because for her, it's never about being distant. It's about being selective. So, if you ever feel like a Sigma female isn't fully there during a conversation, you're probably right. But don't take it personally. It just means the topic isn't worth her full attention. And if you do get her undivided focus, consider it a rare privilege, because when she chooses to listen, she listens with purpose. Number 5. Having conversations with themselves. Out loud, sometimes. If you've ever seen a Sigma female deep in thought, you might have caught her talking to herself, not just muttering a few words, but having full-blown, one-sided debates, often with the intensity of a business meeting, while absolutely no one else is around. At first glance, it might seem a little odd, but for her it's how she processes and sharpens her thoughts. While most people think through things internally, keeping their thoughts locked inside their head, A Sigma female externalizes her mental processes. She talks out her ideas, arguing both sides of a point, or brainstorming solutions to problems as if she's presenting them to a boardroom of her own making. To an outsider, it might look like she's losing touch with reality. But in her world, this is when she's at her most focused. This habit isn't random. It's a powerful tool for self-reflection. By verbalizing her thoughts, she clarifies her ideas and cuts through the noise in her mind. The simple act of speaking things out loud forces her to slow down and examine every angle, ensuring she doesn't miss anything important. You might catch her whispering to herself in the middle of a crowded cafe or having a quiet debate as she walks down the street. Most people would be embarrassed to let their thoughts slip so publicly. But a Sigma female, she's completely comfortable in her own world. She doesn't worry about judgment or what others think. This is her personal thinking space, and if others overhear her process, it's just a side effect of being a true independent thinker. The beauty of this habit is that it allows her to hear her own thoughts more clearly. It's like having a conversation with herself to stay in control of her mind, rather than letting her thoughts control her. And when she figures something out, when that eureka moment strikes, it's as if the whole world suddenly aligns with her ideas. That's the power of thinking aloud. It's not strange. It's genius. Number 6, secretly observing people like a social scientist. A Sigma female can walk into a room, say nothing, and still know exactly what's going on. While others are busy talking, she's busy analyzing, watching body language, noticing micro-expressions, and catching the subtle shifts in tone that most people overlook. She isn't just listening to what people say, she's paying attention to what they don't say. It's not about paranoia, it's about awareness. Sigma females move through life like quiet social scientists, constantly gathering data. They can sense when someone is lying, when tension is building, or when a person's energy doesn't match their words. A forced smile, a flicker of hesitation, a too casual deflection. She picks up on it all, storing away the information for later. She doesn't always react immediately, but trust, she saw it. This ability makes her nearly impossible to deceive. While others take people at face value, she digs deeper, questioning motives and reading between the lines. It's why she's so selective about who she trusts. If someone's words and actions don't align, she won't call them out. She'll simply adjust her approach, keeping them at a distance while they remain unaware that she's already figured them out. But here's what most people don't realize. Sigma females don't just observe individuals. They study entire social dynamics. They notice power plays, unspoken alliances, and the subtle ways people manipulate each other. To her, human behavior is a puzzle, and over time she learns exactly how to navigate it without becoming trapped in the usual social games. And the most unsettling part? She does it all in silence. People rarely realize how deeply she's reading them until it's too late, until she says something so precise, so cuttingly accurate that it leaves them wondering how she got inside their head. But she didn't need to. She was simply paying attention in ways most never do. Number 7. Randomly disappearing for days or weeks without explanation. Ever noticed how a Sigma female can just disappear from the world for days or even weeks without a word? No drama, no grand explanation. She's just gone. It might leave people wondering if something's wrong, but for her, there's nothing to fix. She's not running away, she's simply resetting. This disappearing act isn't a sign of weakness or avoidance. It's a strategic retreat, a necessary time to recharge and recalibrate. For a Sigma female, constant social interaction, noise, and demands can quickly drain her. She's highly selective about where she invests her energy, and when it gets too much, she takes a step back to reclaim her peace and clarity. When the world is too loud, she withdraws into solitude because that's where she refuels. It's not about cutting people off, it's about protecting her mental and emotional space. In these moments, she's not idle. She's deep in thought, reflecting, planning, or simply enjoying the silence. This is when she gathers the strength to come back better, sharper, and more in control. What many people don't understand is that this absence isn't a loss. It's an investment in her future self. Every time she takes a step away from the chaos, she emerges stronger. This time alone isn't wasted. It's when she regains her focus, redefines her goals, and recharges the energy she'll need to face the world again. And when she returns, it's like nothing ever happened. She's back, not as someone who ran away, but as someone who's leveled up. It's almost like a secret reset button that others don't even know exists. So the next time a Sigma female disappears without warning, don't be alarmed. She's not disappearing from your life. She's just reappearing as a stronger, more refined version of herself. And when she's ready, she'll come back with more clarity, purpose, and power than before. Jin with. Number 9. They constantly simulate worst-case scenarios. Most people push negative thoughts away, hoping disaster never comes. Sigma females do the opposite. They don't just acknowledge worst-case scenarios, they live in them, mentally. It's not pessimism, it's preparation. While others daydream about success and smooth sailing, a Sigma female is running mental drills. She envisions betrayals, sudden failures, unexpected losses, not because she's paranoid, but because she refuses to be caught off guard. She mentally walks through every possible outcome, dissecting the worst that could happen. If someone close to her betrays her, how will she react? If everything she's built crumbles overnight, what's her next move? If she's left alone with nothing but herself to rely on, how does she survive? She already knows, because she's rehearsed it 100 times in her mind. This constant simulation isn't for fun, it's a form of emotional armor. When life throws its hardest punches, most people crumble. A Sigma female doesn't. She's already felt the sting, processed the shock, and mapped out her escape route long before reality even catches up. While others are panicking, she's executing. No wasted energy on emotional breakdowns, no indecision, just action. This mindset makes her untouchable. People wonder why she's so calm in chaos, why she doesn't break under pressure. The answer is simple. She's already been here mentally. While others are experiencing disaster for the first time, she's revisiting something she prepared for long ago. But here's the most fascinating part. This habit doesn't make her cold. It makes her fearless. She doesn't waste time fearing the worst because she's already accepted it. If it happens, she's ready. If it doesn't, she's stronger for having considered it. Either way, she wins. This is why a Sigma female is nearly impossible to break. Her mind is always 10 steps ahead, and by the time the world realizes what's happening, she's already adapting, surviving, and thriving. Place. Number 10. They don't seek happiness, they seek peace. Most people spend their lives chasing happiness like it's some ultimate prize, always looking for the next high, the next thrill, the next moment that makes everything feel perfect. But Sigma females, they don't play that game. They don't chase happiness because they know the truth. Happiness is fleeting. It comes and goes, dependent on circumstances, people, and things outside their control. Instead, they focus on something far more powerful: peace. For a Sigma female, peace isn't just a preference, it's a necessity. She doesn't want a life filled with constant ups and downs, emotional roller coasters, or the exhausting pursuit of external validation. She wants stability, not the kind that comes from money, status, or relationships, but the kind that comes from knowing she is in control of her own mind. Peace, for her, means living without unnecessary drama, without toxic people draining her energy, without the pressure to constantly be happy. She's seen how people chase happiness, jumping from one distraction to another, always needing something or someone to make them feel alive. That's not her style. She's more interested in cutting out the noise, eliminating unnecessary chaos, and building a life that doesn't need constant excitement to feel fulfilling. If that means walking away from people who thrive on drama, so be it. If that means rejecting societal expectations, she has no problem doing so. The real power of a Sigma female is that she understands peace is an inside job. She doesn't need perfect conditions to feel okay. She creates her own inner sanctuary, a space where nothing external can shake her. When others are losing themselves in the endless pursuit of happiness, she's already found something better: balance, clarity, and a mind free from unnecessary burdens. And that's why she's unstoppable, because while happiness fades, peace lasts. And a woman who has mastered her own peace is a woman who cannot be controlled. Her. Number 11. They refuse to be owned by their own desires. Most people are ruled by their desires, craving validation, chasing pleasure, addicted to comfort. They let their impulses dictate their choices, never stopping to question why they want what they want. But a Sigma female? She refuses to be a slave to anything, not people, not emotions, and certainly not her own cravings. She doesn't just pursue her desires blindly, she dissects them. If she wants something, she questions it. Is this truly mine, or was I conditioned to want it? Is this leading me somewhere meaningful, or is it just another distraction? She strips away illusions until only the truth remains. If a desire weakens her, she discards it. If it controls her, she destroys it. This is why she is so disciplined. It's not about restriction, it's about power. True power isn't in getting everything you want. It's in being able to walk away from anything that doesn't serve you. While others chase temporary highs, she builds something stronger, self-mastery. She knows that the moment she lets an impulse dictate her actions, she's no longer in control. And a Sigma female will never give up control over herself. She doesn't crave attention because she validates herself. She doesn't seek constant pleasure because she knows it's fleeting. She doesn't drown in materialism because she understands that possessions don't equate to freedom. What she seeks is something far rarer, an unshakable inner foundation. This is what sets her apart. While others are pulled in 1,000 directions by their wants, she remains centered. She doesn't let a craving, a person, or an emotion dictate her life. She decides, she chooses, and that level of self-discipline makes her untouchable. Because a woman who has mastered herself, she's the hardest to manipulate, the hardest to control, and the hardest to break. Conclusion: embrace the uniqueness of Sigma females. At the end of the day, the weird habits of Sigma females are what set them apart. They're not odd for the sake of being different. They're simply being true to themselves. Every quirk, every unconventional habit, is a reflection of their deep independence, sharp intellect, and unwavering need for authenticity. They don't need approval from anyone. They follow their own rhythm, and that's what makes them so powerful. To truly understand a Sigma female is to accept that she doesn't conform to society's standards. She's not here to play by the rules or fit into a mold. Her habits may seem strange, but they are a testament to her self-awareness and commitment to personal growth. The world doesn't always understand her, and that's okay, because she understands herself better than anyone else ever could. So, if you identify with these habits or recognize the Sigma traits in yourself, take pride in it. These behaviors are not flaws, they are strengths. Embrace your quirks, trust your process. Your ability to disappear when needed, think deeply, and observe the world with such precision is a gift. You are carving your own path, and no one can walk it for you. Remember, being different isn't something to shy away from. It's something to celebrate. The habits that make you stand out are the same ones that empower you to live life on your own terms, and that's a strength that can't be replicated.